All right, welcome to Mystery History. Today we're going to look at Tori Spelling and the Spelling dynasty. Her father, of course, was a famous and very successful television producer named Aaron Spelling. And the main point of this is that this is another one of these Illuminati tranny families. This one's pretty obvious, right? It's just, we just had no idea this was going on. Probably most of us thought, well, this is just a kind of strange-looking woman. But actually it makes a lot more sense if you realize this is a secret tranny. Tori Spelling, the young girl on the right, the mother is also clearly a tranny, possibly the men as well. But it's much more easy. Look at Tori Spelling, just a young boy. And you'll see the mother is obviously a tranny. I mean, how obvious does it need to get? You know? So who knows where these children came from. It didn't come out of that body. And there's the young wedding photos, Aaron. And Candy is her name, Candy Spelling. Candy's a good old tranny name, isn't it? And there's Tori Spelling getting married. And yeah, they always say they have babies and stuff. It's all fake, okay? It's all fake. Don't believe it for a minute. There's Candy Spelling now, older, just an old tranny man. Her father, Aaron Spelling, produced shows like Charlie's Angels, The Love Boat Dynasty, and Beverly Hills 90210. This isn't just any TV producer. This is the most prolific television writer and producer in U.S. television history. Okay, he produced 218 shows. Forbes ranked him as the 11th top earning deceased celebrity in 2009. You may be familiar with the Aaron Spelling Mansion in Los Angeles. And check this out. Known as the Manor, it is the largest single-family home in Los Angeles. So this Tori Spelling, secret tranny, grew up not just in any old family, basically the most successful TV producer in history, living in the largest single-family home in Los Angeles, and they sold this thing for $85 million in 2011, originally listed for $150 million. This is where an Illuminati tranny grew up, in this house. Houses like this around the world are producing secret transgendered children. And so Tori Spelling is a very good example of what I call Illuminati trannies, not just a regular tranny. Okay, that's kind of a different issue. I don't even really talk about those kind of people here on this show. You know, I'm not talking about them. So this isn't about judging or hating or anything like that. It's about exposing deception, and that's what I do on my channel. This just happens to be one that not too many people are talking about this. So I thought, well, somebody better talk about it. And there are a few people, right? But still, there's not many people doing it. Okay, and just think of the family she comes from. I mean, oh, come on. They can tell us that 4 airplanes crashed when no airplanes crashed whatsoever, okay? They can give somebody a baby bump and convince you that they had a baby. So are trannies having babies? I just don't think so. There it is. Let's check out some of these shows that this guy did. Charlie's Angels. So, Kate Jackson. It's a tranny. And it would only make sense that you got this guy, Aaron Spelling, producing all these shows. Of course, and his child is a secret tranny. Of course, he's going to slip in some trannies in his TV shows, right? Now, the rest of them, I'm not sure. I mean, Farrah Fawcett's definitely has to be investigated, but I just don't know about that one or the one on the left. But it's certainly possible. I'm not going to say they are right now, okay? But you can see the one in the middle clearly. But the others are pretty close, you know. And then you got the movie, Cameron Diaz. That's her name. That's a tranny. Clearly, I could show you more photos of that. Now, is Lucy Liu looks like a tranny there, doesn't she? That would make sense. She kind of looks something a bit off with her. Lucy Liu, and then we got Drew Barrymore. She looks like a tranny too. And she grew up in a famous Hollywood family as well, and was actually a movie star since she's been about 3 years old, right? In Poltergeist, of all things, a movie about demonic possession. So it looks like there's a few on here, doesn't there? Dynasty. Oh yeah. Even that guy. I mean, there looks to be a dynasty of trannies. Linda Evans, man. Looks like she was been making movies a long time. Got that old Western movie vibe. No, what is that? What has Linda done to her face? Disaster. Why? Because it's already a disaster. It's a secret Illuminati tranny. As they get older, their male face is changing into an old man, so they have to continually change it. And then what they do is they just figure, well, let's just make it a total plastic surgery disaster to cover it all up. So they don't care if they look all funny. And these people don't really care about the human body because they hate humanity, and I'm going to get into this in a minute, And just keep an open mind if you can't see it. Look at that. Come on. See that when they're young, no problem. Give them some plastic surgeries, smaller nose. But as they get older, maybe the original plastic surgery starts to kind of wear off, and they might as well be wearing a clown mask, man. Maybe these are the creepy clowns that everyone's talking about. They just have to, it's like they're wearing a mask so we can't see what they really look like. Because if they didn't do a plastic surgery disaster, then you'd be able to tell it was a man. Cast of Charmed. Okay, so Charmed was an Aaron Spelling show. Oh, yeah, Rose McGowan. Nice shirt. So, yeah, Rose McGowan. Maybe we'll look at her in more detail later on. It was some kid on that show. I've never seen that show in my life. Some kid called Wyatt, played by twins because it's a little child, Jason and Christopher Simon. Now, what is that on the left? Is that a mistake, or that's a little girl, obviously, right? But look at these two boys; they could easily be girls. And look at the kids; they dress them up like devils, I mean, they're just having a good old time. Look at this, 90210, the musical. Now, that looks like an outright tranny who's not even trying to hide it, and they got this tranny playing the secret tranny, and here too they got another. This is the musical. These are different actors for some kind of Broadway show. We better look at this. This is interesting. See, these guys know. They understand. You got to put a tranny to play the tranny. Otherwise, it won't even look right. Caleb Den as Tori Spelling. That's hilarious. So they have a man playing Tori Spelling. I mean, this is what it is. Look at this. 90210 the musical. Caleb, this dude right here, is playing Tori Spelling in the musical. They had a man playing Tori Spelling in the musical. And it looks like for this one, they got a man playing that one as well. So there you go, folks. Right from the heart of Broadway. All right. Don't listen to what I say. Do your own research. This is what I got here. And that's a tranny in a red dress. Now, let's check out what the Bible has to say about all this. Mark chapter 5, verse 8. This is that story when there's a demon-possessed man, and then Jesus tells the demons to leave, and they go into the swine. They go into the pigs, right? So check this out. Verse 8. Come out of the man, thou unclean spirit. And where does it go? It goes into the herd of swine. And the swine is an unclean animal. Leviticus chapter 11. The swine, though he divide the hoof, and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud. He is unclean to you. The swine is unclean to you. Yes, the Bible does say we should not eat pig. Why? Because it's unclean. It also happens to be a filthy animal that eats a bunch of crap. It's a garbage disposal. So I didn't know about that before, but when I found out, I stopped eating pig. It's unclean. So check this out. The pig is unclean. The spirit is unclean. So the devils themselves, the demons, are saying, hey, okay, if you're going to take us out of this body, put us into the swine. So they're unclean spirits, and they have to go into an unclean animal. Question, what does the Bible say about cross-dressing, transvesticism? Is transvesticism a sin? Deuteronomy 22, verse 5, God commands that a woman is not to wear that which pertains to a man, and a man is not to wear that which pertains to a woman, for all that do so are an abomination. Abomination means a disgusting thing, abominable, in the ritual sense of unclean food, idols, mixed marriages. So what I've been wondering is if these unclean spirits need to inhabit an unclean body, just like with the pig example. An unclean body in human terms would be somebody who's deceptively transgendered in a satanic ritualistic fashion. The meaning here is that this cross-dressing and transvesticism is done in order to deceive, or to present oneself as something that he or she is not. To apply the principles, the Bible calls cross-dressing and transvesticism a choice that is a demonstration of unbelief and rebellion against God and his order. Well, who do we know likes to rebel against God and his order? The Illuminati, the synagogue of Satan, the religious fundamentalists who have 100% faith in their Lord. They all have the same gods. They all worship Moloch and Baal and all these things. They sacrifice children to Moloch. They did this in the Old Testament. They did this a few thousand years ago. They still do it today. Bohemian Grove, the Arch of Baal is in New York and London and all these places right now. They talk about Baal in the Old Testament. It's part of the Illuminati worship of Satan, going back to the mystery religions, Egypt, Babylon, Tower of Babel, even before the flood, where they were altering God's order. They were in rebellion against God and his order because Satan is establishing his kingdom. In fact, we live in Satan's kingdom right now. I mean, look at this world we live in. It's just based on deception. It's all part of Satan's plan to confuse us that there is no God, so that we do not enter the kingdom. There's a lot of deception in the world. We see the deception, then at least we know what not to believe in anymore. And it, for me at least, it points me towards the truth, towards God, towards Jesus, towards reality. Of course, ultimately, God is the ruler, and Jesus Christ has all authority. So if we claim Jesus Christ as our Lord and Savior, we're protected, we're safe, we're taken care of, and these people can't harm us. These people are demonic, okay? They're demons. I'm becoming more and more convinced of that after making this video. These people are inhabited by demonic spirits, unclean spirits, just like that Legion example. Maybe they're disembodied spirits of the Nephilim, and they just have no place else to go. They need to inhabit an unclean body because they are unclean spirit. How could an unclean spirit inhabit a clean body, a godly body? It probably, it probably just can't happen. So they have to inhabit an unclean body that's completely transformed into something that God did not create. And I'm a man, right? So I see this from I'm a bit cynical. But I'm becoming more aware of the female perspective of this whole thing. Just think how many women are out there comparing their bodies to these fake bodies they're seeing on TV. It's all bioengineered, manufactured to deceive us. And the men too, and it goes, there's male to females, there's females to males. They're all demonic to make us feel horrible about ourselves, to turn us away from God, to fill us full of lust and self-hatred and confusion. And there's a false ideal of what it means to be human, either male or female. It's just all confused. That's why there's no morals today, right? I mean, look at, it's an age of lawlessness. And it says somewhere too in the Bible, right? The Antichrist or someone's gonna change all the laws and all that stuff. It's the laws of God. There are no laws. It's do what thou wilt should be the whole of the law. It goes back to Aleister Crowley. These people are demonic, man. They're demonic, and this is a crime against humanity. This is a crime against humanity. One of the greatest deceptions ever. Mind control, spiritual abuse, psychological abuse. This is spiritual warfare, man. The gloves are off. Jesus Christ has more power than all of these people. And all these people are doing, these demonic entities, are just trying to get us to turn away voluntarily, just like in the Garden of Eden. They're seducing us into all this junk. Got to wake up to the deception. This world is seducing us to death. We're being seduced to death by demons all around us. Only Jesus Christ can save us from this stuff.